Yay Networks.
13 has been my lucky number for a while. Like, it's always a sign of good things to come for me.
This is 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast, breaking down every song, every Easter egg, every era, and every theory. Hosted by the biggest Swifties, Nick Adams, Anna Casillejos, Amy Nichols, and Lacey G.
Welcome to 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast. My name's Nick Adams.
I'm Anna. Amy.
And I'm Lacey G.
And today we are doing it, guys. We're breaking down Taylor's opus, her masterpiece.
Yes.
Dare we say the best song she's ever written?
Right, Amy? Yes, I agree. The 10-minute version.
Finally breaking down the 10-minute version of All Too Well.
Yes.
And it is kind of sad. This is the last song that we're breaking down on Red Taylor's version.
I know, but it is a very full circle moment because when we first got into Red Taylor's version as an
You
album.
mean in November?
Exactly.
November
5
2021?
years ago, we started with talking about All Too Well, 10-minute version, the short film. And now we're just going to talk about just kind of like the lyrics and the song, but it's really a really full circle moment, I feel like. Mm-hmm. And I love that you called it a masterpiece, Nick, because
it is.
On my notes here, I wrote, I have a lot of notes, but the first thing I have is just the first bullet just says a masterpiece.
Oh my gosh.
And that's it.
Well, on mine, the first line, Lauren Huff from Entertainment Weekly wrote The Odyssey. If Taylor Swift was Homer, this would be her The Odyssey.
Ah,
I like
for
that.
sure.
Okay.
Well, Nick, you must have read my notes too, because it says, how did she already perfect the already perfect song?
Wow.
I know it.
You didn't say that, but
No.
I just wanted to be a part of the team.
Maybe we should have a shared Google Doc.
It's true. I saw someone who had written an article about this, and I forget who wrote it. I'm sorry. But they said that, how did All Too Well have such a great glow up? Like, it is already a great song, but it had an incredible glow up.
Yeah.
And that's what makes this masterpiece, So You Tore It All Up, just so simply incredible, because we love this song, and how can you make it even better? And she did. I mean, of course she did. Everything she does is just better and better.
And it's also just fascinating, fantastic, beautiful how it really was because of the fans that she did this, really.
Mm-hmm.
She does. In fact, Anna, I have a little clip of her
Perfect.
talking on Jimmy Fallon. This is the night before. Remember how she did Jimmy Fallon, then she did Seth Meyers, and then a day later she did Saturday Night Live?
Yes.
And so here she is talking about All Too Well, the 10-minute version, really for the first time in public, just hours before it was being released.
The one that I am the most excited about is a song called All Too Well, in parentheses, the 10-minute version.
Yeah, the 10-minute version.
So
explain this.
I will. Basically, when I was writing the Red album, I knew I had a favorite on the album, and it was a song called All Too Well. But oftentimes, my personal favorites don't line up with songs that end up being singles or having videos. I always just have these favorites where I'm like, that one's just my favorite. Yeah. But what happened on this album was this song became the fans' favorite on its own. My favorite and their favorite song aligned.
Yes.
And the way that this song was written was, I was going through a bit of a sad time. And I was 22, and I was in band rehearsals, and I think I was 21 when I wrote this. And I was in band rehearsals for a tour that I was about to go out on called the Speak Now Tour. And I showed up for rehearsals, and I just was really upset and sad, and everybody could tell. It was really not fun to be around me that day. And so I started playing guitar and just kind of playing the same 4 chords over and over again. And I just started the band sort of joined in, and I started ad-libbing what I was going through and what I was feeling. And it went on, and the song kept building and building and building in intensity. And the song just went on for about 10 to 15 minutes of us doing this, and then we got done with that, and then we moved on to the regularly scheduled rehearsal. And at the end of the day, my mom came up to my sound guy, and she's like, "Is there any chance that you recorded that?"
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yup," and handed her a CD. The 10-minute version of All Too Well is what was originally written for the song before I had to cut it down to a normal length song, because that's,
Yeah, in case it gets played on the radio or whatever.
Because the 10 minutes is absurd. That's an absurd length of time for a song.
It's like
to
American
be.
Pie or something. Yeah,
Who
it's
thinks
a long.
that they can put out a 10-minute song? I mean,
We want
clearly
a
me.
10-minute song from you. We want this from you.
Well, thanks. And that's what you'll get, and that's the thing I'm the most excited about, because it's the original lyrics.
Yes.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Who thinks they can come out with a 10-minute song?
It's true.
I can. I'm Taylor Swift, and I can do it.
Wow, what an icon.
And I gotta say, so after the album was released, after everyone just dissected the lyrics like we're about to do, there was kind of a conversation of people saying, is this really what she wrote word for word? Did she update it a little bit when she knew that she was going to release it? And I don't care. I don't care about that argument at all. I don't care if people think Taylor's trying to pull one over on us. Maybe she tweaked it a little bit. That's fine. Whatever. It's
sounds
great.
great.
It's great.
It's
great.
perfection.
But she did say 15-minute version. Where's the extra 5 minutes, Taylor?
No, now we're
Where
gonna.
is it? That's what I'm concerned about.
I know. Now we're gonna be like, all right, give us the next one.
So there's so much here to talk about. Where do we start with a 10-minute version of All Too Well?
I was kind of thinking the way that I did it in my notes personally. Feel free to agree or disagree. I went line by line, just so we can
all of it?
of the lyrics
Or of the new one?
I
was
mean,
just
I
looking at
have
the new.
I have all of it, but we already know like the premise and stuff. But since it is kind of like intermixed, I still kind of have everything, so we get the consistent story. I don't know how y'all are feeling about it.
Yeah.
I gotta say, when you hear this, so this is the first thing that I listened to when I woke up in the morning. I didn't listen to it in order. I just wanted to hear the 10-minute version of All Too Well.
Wait, you woke up?
I mean,
you weren't
no.
awake?
Nope, I wasn't awake. I'm a bad
Nay.
Swiftie. That's
Wow.
fine. Call me out on it.
Okay,
I woke
go
up.
ahead.
I mean, I did wake up at like 3 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
And it was released at midnight.
Pretty sure Anna did too, but go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm not saying she's a better Swiftie than you, Nick.
Are we
I'm
winning
just
prizes
saying.
from the Taylor Swift store for this?
We
yeah,
should.
I didn't. I
should.
didn't. And if that makes me a bad Swiftie, whatever, I'm a bad Swiftie. I don't care. Were you up at midnight?
Yes, I was up at midnight with Anna.
Wow.
And speaking of a Taylor Swift prize, there will be a Taylor Swift prize, but please continue.
What? Today?
Yes,
You can't tease
we
me
are
like
we are going to give away some Taylor Swift swag.
Ooh.
I'll tell you about it here in a bit.
Wow.
Oh, this is so exciting.
Yeah.
Because we don't know what it is. I mean, you know what it is.
I know what
But the
it
rest
is.
of us don't, so that's
You
exciting.
don't know. Okay, go ahead, bad Swiftie.
I just think one of my favorite parts is the actual just music of this song because
Yeah.
it sounds different. I was expecting the same All Too Well chords and notes that I've known for 10 years.
I first was confused.
Yeah, at first it was just like, what is this?
Mm-hmm.
It sounded different. It sounds dreamy almost. It sounds
Like
I don't know.
Folklore,
It
Evermore.
definitely does.
Yeah.
It
definitely
really,
does.
it really carries you through the whole
Yes.
story. I feel like I'm never gonna have the serotonin that I had. When she told us we were getting the 10-minute version, and then listening to it for the very first time. And I really regret not like filming myself listening to it for the very first time.
Yeah.
Because I've seen a lot of Swifties like on TikTok like reposting it now, being like, just kind of want to relive this moment. And I'm like, man, I wish I had that moment for myself. But the genuine happiness that I was feeling like is unmatched. I haven't felt happy since.
You've gotten engaged since then.
And
And it was a paper ring, and that's not what she wanted.
it's so funny. My fiance's birthday passed. It was like a week or two ago. And I was asking him, I was like, what was the best part of this year for you? Like just not like, calendar year, but the last year. And he did say, he was like, yeah, getting engaged is up there. And he was like, what about you? And I was like, Red Taylor's version is up there. It's up there. Anyway.
That's why she's the best Swiftie.
Give me my prize, please. So do we just dive in?
Yeah, so then she starts singing.
So I walked through the door with you. I feel like
Air was cold.
Have you seen? I keep getting sidetracked. Have you seen those TikTok videos of the girl that's pretending to be the NYU professor?
Yes, and she's teaching.
She's like
She's walking
teaching-
you through a Taylor Swift
Yeah,
song.
and she's like pretending that she's like giving a lecture, and she's like standing at the front of the room, and she was like, "So I walked through the door with you. The air was cold." So when she says this, and that's how I feel like we're gonna be this whole time. But yeah, I mean, it does start off as the regular snack size version, aside from the music, like you mentioned. But something that I think we've all really loved about All Too Well in general, regular version, 10-minute version, is the actual like storytelling, because she just dives right into just setting the scene in all the minor details, the time of the year, the scarf, the family, the sister's house, like where they are, like you already envision it just from the very first line. I walked through the door with you, the air was cold. Something about it felt like home, right? Did you know, okay, in the original lyrics from the Lover Journal, she wrote, I left my scarf there at your sister's house on the banister.
Another word for stairs.
I didn't
Like
know
the
that
a rail of a
until
stair?
Taylor Swift, another word that Taylor has taught me.
You
Banister?
have never heard
Banister.
banister?
No.
Wow.
I didn't know that's
banister
what a
was.
banister is. I
Like
would have thought
the
the banister
railing?
was the. Oh, well, then I do know. Never mind. It's not the stairs. It's talking about the side of the stairs.
It's like
Yeah,
the,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
the handrail.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
The
that was
banister?
that was in the Lover journals, and so in the short film, you see Sadie Sink's character put the scarf
Yes.
on the banister.
Yes.
Add that to my list of words that Taylor Swift has taught me.
You know what? Watching Stranger Things now and knowing that, and turning around and watching the All Too Well film once again, man, Sadie is such an incredible actor because she looks young in Stranger Things and looks like a young girl trying to be mature in All Too Well. Like she pulls both of them off just flawlessly.
Oh yeah.
I love her maturity and how she's trying in All Too Well. It's just
really-
incredible.
It is really cool also that like since she is young, I feel like she's going to be one of those actors that we're just going to watch her grow and be so successful. Like, she already is very successful, but she's going to just
Yeah, I
continue
sure hope
to
so.
let her. So we're singing in the car. I don't know.
I think just anything that stands out to
Yeah.
you. Anything
Yeah.
you'd like to
I
comment
just don't want to
on?
be like super repetitive since we've already
We've
talked
broken
about
down.
the snack size version, but just in case somebody hasn't listened to that, you know, when Oh Your Sweet Disposition, Your Wide-Eyed Gaze, we're singing in the car getting lost upstate. I didn't know this until you pointed out, Lacey, about Sweet Disposition. Jake's favorite band, Jake Gyllenhaal,
Yes.
his favorite band, The Temper Trap, have a song called Sweet Disposition.
And it's good. Sorry.
Sweet.
I'm a fan.
But that's so cool that she can take something and have double meaning like that. Without knowing about the band, that still completely makes sense. But then the fact that she's smart enough to tie that in to take another dig to that boy who said she wasn't going to be successful and all this music is so much better than hers.
Yeah.
Iconic.
Yeah.
I'm just fangirling out.
I know. So she continues, autumn leaves falling down like pieces into place. I can picture it after all these days. I mean, she's just really continuing to set the scene, the time of year. She's used a lot of imagery, and we all know how Taylor feels about driving. Loves it.
Loves driving.
Loves driving. So in the next part where she says, I know it's long gone and the magic's not here no more. I might be okay, but I'm not fine at all. Basically, you know, she's saying she's okay, but she's not. Like, she knows the relationship is over, but they're never, ever getting back together. But she's still
And-
heartbroken.
And you have to put on a brave face and just keep going. So I'm okay, but I'm not fine.
Right.
But if somebody asks if you'd say, I'm fine. I'm okay.
Yeah.
You're not really going to get into it.
It is interesting because I feel like okay and fine do kind of mean the same thing. So just say, I'm okay, but I'm not fine. I like it.
How are you? Fine.
Yeah.
How are you? Okay.
Fine. Yeah. Good.
Great. I'm great. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, when someone tells you they're fine, is that your cue to ask them what's going on, or do you leave it?
It's Anna's cue to say, just fine.
Yeah. My fiance does that all the time. Like, he'll be like, how's your day? I'll be like, fine. He goes, just fine. Like,
Elaborate, please.
Elaborate.
But when you say fine, do you want him to ask you so that then you can talk about it?
sometimes, and he should know when to.
Read my mind.
Kind of like rude that you wouldn't already know, but whatever. Anyway, so we continue. Taylor keeps us into the story because here we are again on that little town street. You almost ran the red because you were looking over at me. She's, I mean, pretty much telling us that the start of this relationship was genuine, and he was really focused on her so much that he ran the red light, right? And I feel like
more driving too.
more driving. And I feel like, you know, he ran the red light because he was looking over at me, like making her feel like she's the main character in this relationship, which later we get to know that that's not the case. But it is those like really small little details. If I'm driving with Ryan and he looks over at me, like, yeah, that does make me feel, I mean, keep your eyes on the road, please. But that would make me feel a little like, why are you looking at me? You know?
You like me or something?
You know? And then my note here, I actually wrote, she remembers it all too well. Good notes here that I have, y'all. Feel free to chime in.
Well, and I saw someone on TikTok as soon as this song was released say that I remember it is the strongest part of this song because she's with a gaslighter who's minimalizing her feelings and telling her it's your fault for feeling this way. I didn't do this to you. You're being out of proportion. You're blowing things up. So the fact that she remembers it, I was there. I remember. I know exactly what happened. You're not going to paint this narrative for me and change the story. Yeah.
I was there.
Yeah.
I saw a meme recently, and it said, how come my girl can't remember if she unplugged her hair straightener, but knows what I said 7 months ago at 4:13 in the morning?
Excellent point.
It's true. It's a great
yeah,
point.
that's
but
true.
She remembers it all too well.
That is me. And I think it's also kind of, she's saying she remembers it all too well, both the good and the bad, And I also think it's kind of, whenever she gets criticism from this song, like not just from like Jake or the, other person in the relationship, but from critics and people in the media and stuff, being like, oh my God, but she like wrote a song about this relationship that only lasted 3 months. It's like, we weren't there. She was. She remembers it all too well. Let her tell her story, please.
And hey, a lot of people fall in love fast. Like not every love develops over a year before you finally realize you love them. Sometimes it's red hot. Like she uses that word to describe things.
Yeah.
It's red. It's passionate. It's on fire. You're going full throttle, and then all of a sudden the rug gets swept out from under her, and of course that hurts. Of course there's heartbreak there.
Yeah, absolutely. So photo album on the counter, your cheeks were turning red. You used to be a little kid with glasses in a twin-sized bed. Remember like 2 years ago when Jake Gyllenhaal posted a picture on Instagram from him when he was a kid and he was wearing glasses? And we took that comment section.
The Swifties took
He can't do anything without that happening. But when you're posting a picture of you he should have been in a twin-sized bed. And it would have made it.
It's like the magazine, when he wore the red heart
like,
sunglasses.
yes.
I'm still mad about that.
You should have known better.
I'm still mad about that.
Y'all,
But
TikTok idea. We need to print out that picture of Jake and put it in a twin-size bed. Who has a twin-size bed? Because I don't. Nick, you have a twin-size bed
My
at your
son
house?
has a car bed. Does that count?
that's perfect. Yeah, that could be twin size.
The car's red too. Just saying.
Taylor's
just
version?
saying.
You know what's crazy though? I remember when this happened. I remember it was during the pandemic because I was working from home at the time. Well, we were all working from home at the time. And I remember doing this story on the morning show that we all work for. And I was telling the story to the other non-Swifties on the morning show. And I was like, yeah, a little kid with glasses with a twin-sized bed. And they're like, what are you talking about? And I had to, at that point, explain the song all too well, what it was, why it's so important. Like, it's weird. Like, 2 years ago, nobody knew.
Yeah.
Outside of, like, Swifties, people didn't know all too well. And then fast forward to all too well 10-minute version, like, everybody knows it. Everybody knows all too well now. It's fantastic.
Taylor's creating her own folklore.
Like her own story?
Yeah, her own stories.
Yes.
She's creating her own stories that we all know that will be told for generations.
Yes. So she basically goes on, your mother's telling stories about you on the t-ball team. You taught me about your past thinking your future was me. I'll be honest. I had this lyric. This was a misheard lyric for me. Because I thought it was, tell me about your past thinking your future is me. It's you taught me about your past thinking your future is me. I was wrong. Misheard lyrics.
Thank you, Professor.
Yes, you're welcome. And now we dive into the new lyrics. Now that we are all set up.
Since I was talking about how just the music in this song is so much different than the original version, when she jumps to the new lyrics right here, when you're tossing me the car keys, that's the first new lyric we get. The music changes. It switches. It like gets a little faster. It's almost like there's more anxiety in the song because it like
speeds up a little.
It like gets tense here where she's really talking about some crazy stuff that's going on. And so as soon as you remember the serotonin you were talking about earlier, man, when that music changes and you start hearing these new lyrics for the first time, that's just a wild shift in a Taylor Swift's fan's life. It's really crazy.
How I wish I could relive it.
And there's so much interpretation that needs to be done on these next few lines.
Let's talk about it.
I'm just doing this from memory, so I hope I'm saying everything correctly. He's tossing me the car keys. Fuck the patriarchy. Keychain to the ground. We were always skipping town.
That's right.
Well, everybody picked their favorite lyrics whenever this song first came out. And I was telling Anna, there was one lyric that got me, and we'll get to that one later. But I asked Anna, I was like, what's your favorite lyric? And she told me hers. And she's like, what's yours? And she thought it was going to be fuck the patriarchy.
I did.
And it wasn't. But I do respect that line a lot. And as I was driving to work this morning and I see my beautiful car air freshener that a listener gave me, very sweet. And it says, if a man talks shit, you don't owe him nothing. And I was like, yes, girl. So in honor of her, I'm going to give a listener a fuck the patriarchy keychain.
Oh my God.
Because I made my friend watch the 10-minute version short film, and they ended up going on Taylor Swift's website and bought me a couple things of merch.
That's cool.
And then told me about it and was like, oh, well, I got you something. I think you have some of them. And I was like, oh my goodness. Well, a sweet listener sent me for my birthday a red scarf and a Fuck the Patriarchy keychain. And he goes, oh, well, that's 2 of them. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I want to give a listener a Fuck the Patriarchy keychain.
Cool.
So how do they enter?
This is what you do. You can leave us a review. Go to iTunes and leave us a review. Include the word lobster in it.
Yes.
Okay.
And then send us an email with the subject line lobster so we know a way to contact you and that you have entered.
Okay.
Our
perfect.
email is the13podcast@gmail. Is that correct?
Our email is in the description of this podcast.
I'm almost positive.
Pretty sure
it
it's
is.
the 13podcast
I
at
think
Gmail.
so. 13,
Yeah.
the number 13.
The 13podcast@gmail. Send us an email to let us know that you left us a review on iTunes with the word lobster in it, and we will pick a winner the day that Speak Now is announced.
Oh, wow, Lacey.
That's exciting. We don't
that might
really,
be a-
because we
that
don't
might
know
be
when
a
that is.
year-long
It could be
contest.
years. Oh, wow.
Years.
This could be a very long time.
Yeah.
It could be years.
So I'm just kidding. So instead, we're going to pick a winner on the 4th of July because Taylor Swift used to have these crazy 4th of July bashes at her Rhode Island mansion, and we all should be able to celebrate like Taylor Swift on the 4th of July.
Okay, love
So you
that.
have through the 4th of July to leave us a comment on iTunes, leave us a review with the word lobster in it.
Nice.
Send us an email at the13podcast@gmail.com.
Preferably a nice review.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good.
You know,
That'd be good.
if you want, I mean, you know, if that's how you're feeling.
Can I ask a clarifying question?
Yes.
Is a lobster emoji acceptable?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
cool. You don't have to spell
Not a
out.
crawfish, though.
And
Not
we
a
will
crawfish.
and we will pick it at random, but you do have to shoot us an email because we need to be able to contact you.
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
have to shoot us an email as well.
Good thinking.
Yeah, feel free to include a screenshot or something so we know which review is yours. Because I think when you leave a review, you can use like a
You can use any
username
name,
or
yeah.
something. Yeah, great idea, Lacey.
Yeah.
Love that.
Nice.
That is so exciting.
Love it.
Should I tempt people now by saying if it's a good review about me personally, you have a good chance of winning?
Hey, it's your giveaway. You can
I'm
do whatever you
kidding.
want.
I'm kidding. No.
No,
Do not
do
do
it.
that. No.
Do it.
Do not do that. That's
Do
just
it.
a joke.
You must
That's just a
include 13 nice words about every single host of the podcast. Just kidding. We're going to keep adding on and on and on. No, totally kidding. Totally
Yes,
kidding.
but fuck the patriarchy keychain. So get yours.
And you were tossing me the car keys.
Fuck the patriarchy.
Keychain on the ground.
So who is the owner of the incredible keychain?
We don't know.
No.
As I was searching the webs, I found so many different theories and things that
Right.
I didn't even think about that other Swifties have been discussing on things like Reddit or Twitter and stuff like that. So, does the keychain literally say "fuck the patriarchy"? That's one theory. Does it say that on the keychain and then he throws it down? The official lyrics in the Red Taylor's version booklet, there's quotes
Right. It
around
makes me think it
"fuck
does
the
say
patriarchy."
it.
Me too.
So that means it's either written on the keychain. Does it mean he said that as he was tossing her the car keys? Does it mean
Oh.
she either said that in response or thought that to herself?
Okay.
Those are some
Yeah,
thoughts.
theories.
Because since it's in
Interesting.
quotes, that means it's said or printed somewhere.
Yeah.
I guess I do like the idea of like her saying that when he tosses her the keys. However, the only reason I think that it was printed on the keychain is because she then released that as a piece of merch.
Right.
You know?
But could the merch just be a funny response to that line where it doesn't actually have to be
That's true.
a keychain
That's
that
true.
says that?
That's true.
I just took it as, and I have no evidence behind this, but I just took it as that's like the first shocking moment that happens. And she's thinking, here's my guy. Here's the person that I'm supposed to trust more than anything, throwing a hissy fit and throwing keys at me. Like, where's chivalry's dead?
Right.
Where's my knight?
And in the short film, sorry, Amy.
No, I was just saying he's so mature, 9 years older, and he's having a hissy fit.
And
Yeah.
in the short film, when you watch it, when he's tossing her the car keys, it's just crazy seeing the keys hitting the ground, and she has to pick them up.
And she looks defeated.
And it's just seeing it visually. It's such a more like it's such a bigger diss of
Oh,
what
yeah.
he's doing. It's so demeaning and degrading. What
Because he's like
doing.
on the phone too, so it's like, ugh.
Right, he's on
Here.
the phone. Is it a business call? He's so important, Mr. Movie Star.
Right.
And so other people are thinking, okay, is this just her kind of saying this because fuck the patriarchy? Is he kind of like a performative feminist?
That's what
where
I
he
got.
says, I'm all for women, but then he does something like this. Then he's treating her bad and talking down to her, saying her music sucks and his indie bands are cooler than hers and stuff like
Right.
that. Is that what the fuck the patriarchy line means? So that's just a lot of theories that people are coming up with.
Anna, add it to the list.
What did you mean when you said fuck the patriarchy? It's interesting because I think whenever I sing it, whenever I envision it, I do interpret it that way, the way that you just said it, Nick, like it's a like performative feminist kind of thing. Because then like right after that, she says we were always skipping town, and it's like to her, always skipping town is like a romantic getaway, like such a cute thing. But to him, he's like keeping her a secret, essentially.
Right.
You know,
True.
like let's get out of
Yeah.
town. Like we don't want people to see us. We don't want everyone to know that we're together, which we later in the spoiler alert, you know, you kept me like a secret, but I kept you like an oath. Like there was just these things where like, was he like embarrassed of the relationship? So it's kind of like this like one moment where he like tosses the car keys, like skipping, like this is supposed to be like a cutesy getaway romantic thing, like oh let's
And
skip
you're
town.
acting like a child.
And yeah, and it's just kind of like the facade is gone, especially at this point, because all the lyrics leading up to this were painting that picture of them, you know, having this like escape in autumn and the leaves are falling. She's having these like fond memories, and then it's like boom, you know.
And you want to act like it didn't happen. You want to forget the bad because the good was good.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, well, I mean, yeah, this happened, but he doesn't always act like this. It's going to get better. It's fine.
Right. You like convince yourself that
Yeah.
you're overthinking it.
Yeah.
The worst.
But it is shocking whenever you see or discover a real side of somebody. And it's like, wow, I did not realize you were a dick. I'm sorry. I did not realize you were a jerk until right now.
Yeah, it's a big
Yeah.
realization. That first time you're like, wait a second.
Yeah,
This is not
is
the
the
same
true
person.
you.
But
yeah.
have you done that to like, I cannot believe I just said that. Like I am the kind of person who actually, is it just me?
No.
Crap.
No. No, I agree with you. And then you think about it for days.
Amy's words will cut ya.
So then still just like in the new lyrics in this verse, you know, I was thinking on the drive down, anytime now he's going to say it's love, you never called it what it was. And we've talked about this before, but it's still an incredible lyric.
It's a heavy lyric, and you know, it's certainly top 2 of my favorite lyrics from this song.
Okay, yeah.
He never called it what it was. It just kind of, it packs a lot of punch there. And it's very simple. It's not like the hardest line ever to write, but it's just like, whoa, wait a second. There's a lot of weight to that.
Yeah.
Because it's just a casual relationship and you're blowing things out of proportion. We never were that serious. Why are you so mad at me?
Right. And then her voice also gets deeper when she says it, you know, like you never called it what it was.
But the following lyric, till we were dead, gone and buried, swearing it's the same after 3 months in the grave. I think he did say I love you. I think he did it, but he did it too late. That's
it was
why
over.
those are the lyrics that follow that.
Yeah, so 3 months in the grave, does that mean they had been split up for 3 months and then he came back realizing what he's lost, groveling, saying take me back, but it's dead and gone and buried, it's done.
too
It's
late,
not the same,
man.
it's too late.
Well, kind of, because we also, if you go to We Are Never Getting Back Together, we break up, I hate you, you call me, I love you. You know?
There you go.
It's like, oh, whenever I finally break up with you and tell you that I hate you, that's when you choose to tell me that I love you, you know? And then come back swearing it's the same. I have a question about this. So you come back swearing it's the same. Is that meaning like the relationship, when you get back together, it's the same? Like the same turmoil when they come back together, it's just kind of like the same whatever, like, I don't know, like the relationship itself is the same? Or is she saying that he always comes back swearing like same shit, different day? Like you already got me back once, now you're trying to like get me back again. Like you always like do something wrong and then apologize. Do something wrong and then apologize.
When I read that, I see her saying, check the pulse, come back swearing it's the same. He's coming back saying, babe, we can go back to when we were love. I swear. I'm swearing to you. I swear. I promise. It's going to be great. I'm here for you. I love you. I swear. It's all the same. Don't listen to me. I was a jerk before, but I swear I'll be better. But it's too late.
Okay, because I kind of take it as like they keep constantly like on and off, but it's just like the same thing every time.
Yeah, could be.
But not like it's like, oh, it's like things can be good again, whatever. But it's like, no, like I've heard your sad excuses before. Like you come back swearing, it's the same. But there's no comma there, so I don't know.
I'm not a grammar expert on the comma.
Man, me neither.
Although I do prefer the royal comma. That's my big soapbox.
I'm sorry? The royal comma?
The royal comma, it's when you have like 3 things. And so you know how there's a comma? So if you say like before and, you do a comma before and.
I don't like that one.
Isn't it
so confusing?
The Oxford comma?
Oxford comma. Did I say royal
You
comma?
said royal, you crazy person.
I mean, royal and Oxford are pretty close.
You silly belly.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I actually had to say the word error earlier, and I said era. And I had to correct. Yeah.
Today?
No,
Oh,
no.
okay.
I was on
I
the phone with somebody, and I was like, well, if you just make an era, then you can do that. And then I was like, oh, no. Sorry. I had to stop and correct myself. She didn't notice.
It's your country coming out, Lacey. Can you say
Maybe.
oil? Can you say oil?
Oil?
Okay.
So then you wondered where it went to as I reached for you, but all I felt was shame, and you held my lifeless frame.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Cutting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is no love there.
Yeah. So is that kind of like, I reached for you, but all I felt was shame? Like she wants to get back together, but she just knows it's over, or she knows it's bad.
Yeah. When he's back in the picture trying to get back with her, she knows I don't want this. And maybe they hugged each other. You held my lifeless flame. There's no passion there in her. There's no love in her body for this person anymore.
And it kind of also like reaching for you. She also said in Message in a Bottle, now I'm reaching for you, terrified. Now I'm reaching for you.
But that's the good terrified, right?
Yeah.
That's like the giddy, like what's
this
going
could
to
be
happen?
exciting.
This is exciting. This is all new.
Yeah, but now she's reaching for you, terrified, feeling shame. I think just the lyric lifeless frame is like beautiful, but also just so sad.
I feel like I could see that line in a painting.
A lifeless frame.
Yeah, a lifeless frame holding someone that doesn't have passion for you back.
That's so sad.
It is.
Okay, so then after that verse, she gets back into the original lyrics that we know. And I know it's long gone and there's nothing else I could do. And I forget about you long enough to forget why I needed to. The idea that like time heals all wounds, I stand by that. I feel like when you go through a breakup, you feel like it's the end of the world. And then eventually after enough time passes, you kind of realize, oh, I haven't thought about that person in a while. But for her to say I forget about you long enough to forget why I needed to basically suggests that enough time has passed that the reasons that she needed to forget were too heavy. Like, because I forgot why I needed to forget you. It's like every single time she has a memory of him, it's just like, I don't know. I mean, in the song, she talks about like the good memories, but also she's remembering the bad one. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. But anyway, because there we are again in the middle of the night, dancing around the kitchen in the refrigerator light. That's one of my favorites. Just, we've had that for forever. You
can just picture that.
But if you're looking at like the lyrics like as a whole, she had just said, I forget about you long enough to forget why I needed to. Because there we are again in the middle of the night. So she's like, oh my God, I forgot about you. But let me just go back to this good memory. Like she dives right into one of the good memories when we're dancing around in the refrigerator light, which is also just a very simple, very romantic, and very specific core memory.
And very wasteful. There's a lot of cold air coming out of the refrigerator at that point. Unless it's the light from like the water dispenser. Because sometimes that stays on for like 30 seconds.
When Dad and Nick just got jarred by that comment.
If you're just leaving the refrigerator open, we just went to have you seen how expensive groceries are right now, Taylor?
Yeah.
They're very expensive.
This is so long ago.
But I'm just saying, but right now.
Well, in her
leaving that
defense,
door
it was
open.
Jake's sister's refrigerator. So
it's just so
Waste
wasteful.
it
I mean,
off.
these are people that have $1 million couches.
Oh,
so
you're
leave
true.
that refrigerator open as much as you want.
Valid. Did you ever, when you were a kid, you were like so confused on how the light turned off, so you would kind of like try really hard to like be able to see the light go off when you're trying to close the refrigerator door?
I do.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
Another core memory for the rest of us.
Not as romantic.
Not as romantic. I was alone, but I remember it all too well. That I do.
What do you think's in Taylor Swift's fridge?
White wine.
Wine, yeah,
Wine.
she's got wine.
Grapes, cookie batter,
Definitely.
Yes.
eggs.
She's probably got the 18 carton of eggs.
She probably has like the really nice carton of eggs that's like you transfer from when you buy it on the store and
sure.
to like the plastic one.
Yeah.
Those are so cute.
They're so cute.
I think she would have everything to make a badass charcuterie board
Oh,
at a
yeah.
moment's notice.
Yes.
friends are coming over. I'm going to whip up the charcuterie board like so effortless.
I wonder what she puts on her charcuterie board. Taylor, do you like hot honey? Because I do.
Ask her, write it down.
Should I add that?
Yes. Do you like hot honey?
Explain though, like where this came from, because
Yeah, you're gonna have to put some parentheses in there. A bullet point.
Wait. Questions for Taylor. Okay, questions for when we meet Taylor. Should I just write, do you like hot honey?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
What's in your refrigerator is what we're talking about. You know, she kind of seems like the person that would definitely have all the condiments. And so she probably has several different varieties of pickles.
Mm-hmm.
Too.
Oh, yeah.
Now you're talking sexy to Amy. You threw out the condiments.
I know.
Hey, Amy.
You like condiments, Amy?
I do. Sauces and spices are my
Yeah.
favorite foods, and
Yeah.
some people say that's not a food, but I do.
What's your favorite condiment?
I mean, just all of them.
All of them?
Yeah, I mix them all together and make a soup out of it.
What
No, you
Chick-fil-A
don't.
sauce is your favorite sauce?
No, you don't.
No, I don't,
Oh.
but it's just telling you how much I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just painting a picture. Like,
Can you imagine?
a queen.
Can you imagine? For years, we're fans of Taylor and her music. We have this whole podcast. Comes the day we meet her in person. We go up to her, look her in the eye, and just say, "What's on your charcuterie board?" Like, out of all questions, that's the one we go with. Or, what's your favorite condiment?
I bet Taylor can make a mean rose petal out of some deli meats.
Oh, I love that.
You
Using
know?
a wine glass.
Yeah.
The trick is to use a champagne glass.
Wow, it's
Yes.
smaller, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, I added our charcuterie question to our list. Okay, Nick, now we're at your favorite lyric.
Okay, so we go to, and there we are again, when nobody had to know. You kept me like a secret, but I kept you like an oath.
Say it again.
You kept me like a secret, but I kept you like an oath.
Wow.
Does that line not weigh like 700 pounds? Like, that is so heavy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that is so gutting. Like, that is a knife in your stomach from what she's saying right there.
Right.
I'm going to sound really dumb, but I really don't understand the lyric.
So she's saying you kept me. Jake is keeping her like a secret. He either isn't telling people, isn't making her a big deal or a priority in his life. He's keeping her at arm's reach.
Remember,
at
like
a
in the
distance.
short film when they're like at dinner with their friends and she's like trying to hold his hand and he's kind of like pats
Yeah.
it.
Drop
and,
my
like,
fucking hand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then, but I kept you like an oath. This was serious. This was forever. This was, I'm in it 100%. An oath is a promise, an unbreakable promise. And so it's just painting a picture of how they're both viewing this relationship, and it's completely different. They're on opposite ends. This might just be a fun thing for him, but for her, this is serious.
But then he says, or the lyrics say, sacred prayer and we'd swear to remember it all too well. So I think he was saying one thing and doing another.
Could be.
Because
Absolutely.
this is the first time that she didn't say, I remember it all too well.
That's right.
We do it
We.
together.
say we
You
remember-
know what you said,
say,
but when we
yeah.
walk out the door, you're acting completely different.
I
Or
think
when
it-
you're with your friends, it's completely different.
I think it also gives into, because like when you tell somebody a secret, you're like, I promise I won't tell.
They're telling everyone.
But later he breaks her like a promise. Like I kind of feel like they go hand in hand, like the imagery of a secret and a promise. Like you kept me like a secret, but you broke me. You know what I mean? And then we also kind of get the same vibe in Better Man when she said, I gave you my best and we both know you can't say that. Kind of the same idea of like, to me it was an oath, to you it was a secret.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Same vibes, same energy.
Wow. Great line, Taylor. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Just the songwriter of our generation. So then that's when we get into the bridge that we all know and love
We all
so
know and
much,
love.
you know? And I do love in the bridge. So, well, maybe we got lost in translation. Maybe I asked for too much. Maybe this thing was a masterpiece, so we tore it all up. I love that she constantly uses the word maybe, you know, because it's like when you want to know why did this relationship end and you cannot get a solid answer. Like maybe we got lost in translation. Like we weren't on the same page, clearly. Maybe I asked for too much. Like you just said, she was ready for something serious. She was ready for more, even though she was younger, which that, as we know, ends up being like a core reason that they broke up was their age difference, you know. But maybe this thing was a masterpiece. Like maybe this was supposed to be a really, really good thing, but you tore it all up. It wasn't me. It was you.
We are in the church of Taylor.
We are in a church, everybody.
Amen.
Yeah. You tore it all up. Running scared. I was there. I remember it all too well. That's when she goes back from the we to the I. And then you call me up again just to break
Are
me
we
like
not-
a promise.
Are we just gonna talk this out?
You want to sing the whole thing?
I want to sing right here. Yeah.
Okay, ready?
1, 2, 3. And you called me up again just to break me like a promise. So casually cruel in the name of being honest. I'm a crumpled up piece of paper lying here, 'cause I remember it all.
They say all's well that ends well,
But I'm in a new hell every time.
Sing it.
You double-crossed my mind. Said if we had been closer in age, maybe it would have been fine. And that made me want to die. The idea you had of me, who was she? A never needy, ever lovely jewel, whose shine reflects on you. Not weeping in the party bathroom, some actress asking me what happened. You. That's what happened. You. Okay, so
let's backtrack just a little.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, I thought we would talk about all the lyrics we just.
Yes, okay, go.
This is, because just went through, right?
Sorry, I do want to point out, Anna had a Christmas party last year at her house, and she busted out the karaoke microphone, and Ryan, her fiance, had to put a cap on us for how many times we could sing All Too Well 10-minute version, and he would only let us do it one time.
Yeah.
So I think Ryan needs to listen to this podcast if he does not.
It's only been out like 1 month.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
I know.
stop.
I
Okay.
know.
Sorry.
I know.
So sorry if you all hate us for singing. We're just excited.
Or
That is a great song.
Did you sing along?
Yeah.
And
Hopefully.
you said yes to him?
I know.
Mm.
I know. He does though, because, I've really tried to contain myself for, how much I talk about, Taylor Swift and stuff just at home. I mean, our house is covered in, Taylor Swift merch and music and vinyls and, everything. But the other day I signed up for a workout class and I, really didn't want to go. And I was like, gosh, it's just, 50 minutes, that's so long. And he was like, it's only 5 All Too Wells.
Wow.
And I was like,
That's
who
a good way
are
to put
you?
it. Wow. Okay.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Yesterday I had a business lunch with somebody, and they aren't very familiar with this podcast. And so they were asking me some questions, and I was like, look, are we going to talk business, or are we going to talk Taylor Swift? Because I don't think that you want to open this up with me. But I did leave him with, I said, all I'll say is that she is a genius masterpiece, that great marketing. I mean, for someone to have people have fans analyze the lyrics, because that's what matters to her. So she's enticing people to study her and to look at everything that I'm doing, because I care about this song, and it's just so incredible. So yeah, I did. I was like, I'm not going to not comment on this. We are going to talk about it for a moment, but then we have to move on, or I'm not going to stop. So
Yeah, I really do have to, when she's brought up in conversation, mostly by me, I always have to gauge, what's the level of conversation we're having here?
They like a
what
6
are we,
Swiftie? Are they a 4?
Right, what's the conversation about today?
I told you, test them out. Give them trivia if they can, if they know.
When's her birthday?
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the lyrics. So I guess we can start from the new ones, right?
Yes.
They say all's well that ends well, but I'm in a new hell. The opposite of the lyrics that we already had in Lover. They say all's well that ends well to end up with you, which I like that TikTok that you sent us, Lacey, where it was like, what type of person are you? And it's how you finish that. All's well that ends well.
We'll have to do
when
that.
when you hear it, what's the next line that you sing?
Mine's this one.
But I'm in a new hell every time you double cross my mind. Okay, we need to admire the absolute genius of every time you double cross my mind, because double crossing basically means backstabbing someone, right? And she combined it with cross my mind, just to casually think of something. So whenever she casually remembers him, the memory alone stabs her in the back.
Ooh.
You double cross my mind. You double cross me when you cross my mind.
Goosebumps.
I know.
It's so good.
I know. Genius. I don't think we as fans talk about that line enough. Anyway, just had to give it its little.
Wow, calling out all Swifties.
It's
Jeez.
like the
All of you.
lyric that you love that was dressed to kill time.
Dress to kill my
Yes.
time.
Yes.
Because you dress to kill and also kill time.
So good.
Give her an award for that line. And for this one. Double cross my mind. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is intense.
I know.
Well, and then we get into the line about the age. You said if we had been closer in age, maybe it would have been fine, and that made me want to die. So, yeah, a lot has been put on their relationship.
I remember whenever this song first came out and everybody's doing Jake Gyllenhaal's point of view. And he's like, oh, it's not bad, is it? She said she wanted to die.
Pretty bad.
It's not great. Not a good look, Jake.
So he was 9 years older than, or he is 9 years older than her, but at the time that they dated, he was 29 and she was 20, right?
Mm-hmm.
Give or take. That is a big, I mean,
big age difference.
that's a big age difference. Like, I'm 28 right now, and thinking of myself now to when I was 20.
Dating a college student?
Two completely different people.
Mm-hmm.
Two completely different people.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And I guess, like, I mean, she has mentioned their age difference in a couple of different songs also, and like, I Bet You Think About Me, I'm pretty sure. So it just, that must have been, like, what he said when he, like, broke up, whether it was, like, you know, the age difference is just not working here, you know, but then he still dates people her age. So
Exactly, and that comes up later when she's talking about joking around and stuff.
I know.
And then another line that I just absolutely love, a never needy, ever lovely jewel whose shine reflects on you. Or the idea you had of me, who was she? A never needy, ever lovely jewel whose shine reflects on you. Yeah, what do you want me to be? A shiny princess all the time just to make you look good?
I don't have any feelings, and you're upset if I express them to you.
Yeah. It's really narcissistic behavior.
Totally.
Like, he wants her to be this person who always needs him, who's always perfect. This, like, trophy wife, perfect little person that is only shines when he's around. She, like, can't be her own person. And I think it probably bothered him that she was, like, more successful than him. You know?
Yeah, he's looking at it as like, oh, you'll make me look good on the red carpet.
Right, when it's
You know?
the other way around.
Totally.
And that clearly bothered him, his ego.
And then
Not weeping in a party bathroom, some actress asking me what happened you. That's what happened you.
And that is the lyric that shook me to my core, was her to verbalize what happened. It was you. It was
like you, all of you.
You.
Mm-hmm.
You are what happened.
Mm-hmm.
You ruined this.
Mm-hmm.
And I just really related to it because whenever I first started going through my divorce, I didn't know why I was necessarily getting divorced. I just knew we couldn't be together anymore. And then I found out more later and come to find out it's you. You're acting like I'm the problem, and it's 100% you. And that was my moment that I realized that I was hoodwinked and fooled and everything. So that line is just insane to me for her to say that.
And it's crazy because it's so simple. Like you. That's what happened to you. But it really, there's so much behind it.
Have we ever found out who the actress was? I know there was a bunch of speculation when the song came out, who it could be.
I don't know if it's been confirmed.
Ellen Pompeo or Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah, here's Jennifer Aniston a lot.
Anne Hathaway's the one that I heard too.
Yeah.
But she's not going to say.
Nah, she won't say.
Nah. You who charmed my dad with self-effacing jokes, sipping coffee like you're on a late night show. It's just like such an easy way to be like, oh, you were just like charming and confident, like cool, like you're on Jimmy Fallon, like, oh, hanging out with my dad. But then he watched me watch the front door all night, willing you to come, and he said it's supposed to be fun turning 21.
Oh, man. Another moment as a Swiftie, when you first heard that line.
Yes.
Makes you explode.
Yes.
She said it.
Yeah.
What she's been teasing this whole time.
Like, we knew because of the song 22 and the moment I knew. But yeah, for her to just say, like, yes, it was at my 21st birthday when it really shattered. And you know it's bad when your parents get involved.
Yeah.
You know, when your dad looks at you and says, you're supposed to be having fun right now, but instead you're waiting on this guy. Like, that's got to be eye-opening.
And as a dad, this makes me... I have 2 kids. They're both young. My daughter's 3.5. But this makes me think about, like, okay, at some point there's going to be a boy who's just talking me up, pretending to be nice to me, that might treat my daughter poorly, you know? And so that's just like, hopefully I don't have to put up with that too many times of just some guy BSing his way through a dinner, acting all super nice. But then my daughter comes home crying after a party one night because he was rude or whatever. So that's what I'm not looking forward to.
And then for her to get back together with him.
Right.
You know?
And as a dad, what do you say? If you keep saying don't date him, she's just going to date him more.
Yeah,
And
that's
it's just like,
tough.
I'm going to date him harder.
Yeah.
That's tough.
I had a hard time with this line because it just made me feel stupid. I didn't realize the importance of 22 until I heard this lyric. It was like, okay, it follows this song, but there was significance, and I would just, I didn't get that.
Yeah, the 21st birthday was so terrible.
Yeah.
22, she's free from this guy. She's reclaiming it. 22 is her year.
Yeah. And we've said this before, but for someone like Taylor, where she can buy herself anything in the world, something like a birthday is so special to her. And we know, like, from her, like, celebrity friends and stuff, that she is really good at, like, gift giving. Like, she's really thoughtful. Like, I feel like for her, like, you know, like, a birthday is just really important. And every time a birthday comes around, like, obviously in the past, like, 10 years, like, since this all happened, I see also on social media people share photos from when, like, she had, like, a really quiet birthday with Joe Alwyn, you know, and it's just, like, her and her cake and, like, him. And then when she has her birthday party with, like, her friends and things, it's just, like, she really, I don't know, I think every time her, like, birthday comes, that would suck, too. For your, like, every birthday you remember the heartbreak that you had that one birthday.
Remember
you
it
know?
all too well.
It's exactly. It's almost like when Ryan and I first started dating, he asked me to be his girlfriend on Valentine's Day, and I said no. I don't want our anniversary to be Valentine's Day, because if we break up, that's going to ruin every Valentine's Day that I have going forward. So we made our anniversary February 15th, which now that we've been together for a very long time, we kind of just combined the two, like Valentine's Day and our anniversary, because they're back to back. But I really said that to him. I was like, not to be pessimistic, but if we break up, I'm not going to let you ruin Valentine's Day for me. You know, but it's kind of the same thing with, like, a birthday. Like, if you get dumped on your birthday, not necessarily dumped, but if someone breaks your heart on your birthday, of course you're going to think about that next year. So fuck you, Jake. Just kidding.
Throwing keychains at you.
So then after that, she goes back to the original lyrics that we already had. The time won't fly. It's like I'm paralyzed by it. I'd like to be my old self again, but I'm still trying to find it. That line has always been one of my favorites. To be my old self again, but I'm still trying to find it. After pleasure days and nights when you made me your own. And we've talked about this, like, nights when you made me your own. Like, that could be another reason as to why she does feel so connected to him. Again, something that we've just kind of speculated through the years, but obviously something
that
we'll
Jake
never
was
know
her
the
first
answers. Yeah.
is the one theory.
Yeah. Which would, I mean, that just adds a level of connection between them. You know, and then you mail back my things and I walk home alone, but you kept my old scarf from that very first week. It's just the attention to detail that she has in storytelling, and then also in the song. Like, she hasn't mentioned the scarf since the first line, but now we see it again. Pretty awesome.
I would like to point out the fact that, like Jake Gyllenhaal, I am a jerk, because I did get a red scarf, and that is my second red scarf, but I'm keeping that. So if you're going to enter our contest, because now I have a red scarf at work and a red scarf at home, because we have our Taylor Swift shrine here. Yeah.
We do have our shrine.
Yeah, so I am keeping the scarf. Sorry, everybody. But you can get the fuck the patriarchy keychain.
Yeah. So then she goes on to say, because it reminds you of innocence and it smells like me, you can't get rid of it. And I kind of like that. It's like, you can't get rid of the smell of me. You can get rid of the scarf, but you can't get rid of the memory of me, you know?
And it
like
still blows my mind that it was actually a blue scarf, but then she made this red scarf iconic.
Yeah, with, like, her merch. Yeah. I know, when you look at the picture of the actual scarf, it's, like, blue with, like, red and white, like, stripes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That he wore at a different time. Remember those pictures?
Yes.
Yeah, after they split, he still wore it.
Gosh.
So after that course, we get into some new lyrics, and I was never good at telling jokes, but the punchline goes, I'll get older, but your lovers stay my age.
That is insane. And that is the reason that some people think, oh, she didn't write this. This isn't everything that happened. Who freaking cares?
Who cares?
Who cares? Do you not edit your stuff? I mean, do you not? I don't know what I'm trying to say.
No, you're exactly right.
You just because she did something one time, she can change it if she wants to. She can. Why would she not? I would want to update it personally if this is something that I ranted about 10 years ago, and then now I have the chance to tell my story, and this is how I'm going to tell it. Who cares if it was the original or not? Or maybe she's psychic. Write it down. We'll ask her.
Are you psychic? You know what? I also think this is kind of a moment where she combines the two things that, like, are really gut-wrenching to her. The fact that he doesn't think she's funny and the fact that they have such an age difference. Like, she combined the two things by writing that punchline.
And I'll get older, but your lovers stay my age. Some people say it's a nod to Matthew McConaughey's character in Dazed and Confused whenever he's talking about how he loves high school girls. He says this exact same line.
I get older, they stay the same age.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
they
really?
do. Yeah.
I've never seen that movie.
Yeah.
It's Matthew McConaughey's first time on screen. It's all right, all right, all right. It's the line that comes after that.
Okay.
And I mean, and you know, that is just a very typical line that a guy who gets around a lot would say. That's just even if she did write this originally, that's just a line that the sleazy guy's gonna say. Yeah, I'm gonna keep dating the 20-year-olds.
Gross.
I wonder if they're like that. We just don't know, but maybe they like watched that movie together, or he like said it was one of his favorites, or like something. So for her to use it as a lyric in the punchline,
She's so good.
I know. I mean, granted, I'm starting rumors, but
I believe it.
still.
So then the next line has a lot of theories on it too, and it's very meaty. There's a lot here. From when your Brooklyn broke my skin and bones, I'm a soldier who's returning half her weight. So saw several things, different places on Reddit. CEJXN19 said that she had heard a term Brooklyn broke is kind of like cosplaying like you're a broke hipster when you really come from means. So is that what Jake is doing? Like, he has money. He's from a very wealthy family, gated community in LA. And is he just kind of pretending he's being the common New Yorker, trying to dress down, trying to be like one of the people, but you're not.
Yeah.
Stop acting like it.
Yeah.
Your Brooklyn broke my skin and bones. And then is she referring to like how he speaks to her? People saying like, is he trying to act like a tough New Yorker and like talking down to her? And, you know, sticks and stones may break my bones, but, you know, his words hurt her. Is that what she's talking about? How he's just talking down to her? Brooklyn, does that just refer to like where they spend a lot of time together? We saw pictures of them a lot around there. They were in upstate New York a lot, but they were in New York during their relationship. At Sipping August on Twitter said that this line refers to two other Taylor Swift songs. So in Treacherous, she sings, all we are is skin and bones, trained to get along.
Yeah.
So in that song, Taylor's saying like, hey, we're human, we're skin and bones, and we should just go with what's good, not. But what is forbidden is this love interest, and there's a lot of friction who's trying to ruin her life. And then it's also like figuratively and physically, the failed relationship is taking a lot out of her. She's returning with half her weight. Like, did this actually cause some sort of issue with her to where she did want to lose a lot of weight, or where she stopped eating or something like that? She said before in her Miss Americana documentary that she's struggled with things like that.
And the soldier, you're fighting with this guy all the time.
And then
Fighting with him and also fighting for the relationship.
Totally.
True. Oof.
And isn't that exhausting when she's the one trying to save it, but he's not doing anything, so she has to fight harder?
Yeah, and that makes me think of like in the short film, there's the part where they're kind of like in the closet, and the male character, I think him and her, right? He's kind of like sitting down, and she's like on her knees, like grabbing her, like his hands, kind of. I don't know how to explain it, but you can't hear what they're saying because there's music over it. But it's like you kind of learn, especially not to like get annoying, but in like film theory, you know, the person that's kind of like he's literally looking down on her when she's like begging for this relationship to
groveling.
work. Yeah, like on her knees. And I do really love the returning half her weight, kind of like how you also said, you know, like he's the other half, because then she says it again in Tolerate It, gain the weight of you then lose it. That's my favorite line from Tolerate It. I'll restart the entire song afterwards just to hear it again, honestly. And I've seen girls online also, they've done like kind of like as like a power play, like they'll post TikTok videos, they'll be like, here's my weight loss journey, but it's just that they're single. It's just that they lost, you know, 100 and whatever pounds or whatever, like the guy. It's just that they're single now. So but they claim it as their weight loss journey. It's just a power move. It's funny.
It is.
And did the twin flame bruise paint you blue? Nick, what does that mean?
Aren't they like the same sign?
They're
Star sign?
Twin fire signs.
Twin fire signs, and paint you blue. So blue could mean sad, and then blue is also like the color of the hottest temperature. Like fire, when it's the hottest, it's blue. So it could have a lot of meaning there. Did it burn him like it burned her?
And it's interesting because so they're both fire signs or twin fire signs, but separately a twin flame means someone that you like connect like your soul with,
Oh.
like apart from your astrology.
Mm-hmm.
A twin flame and fire signs, two different things, but she combined it like twin flame. Did the twin flame bruise paint you blue? And also, I mean, when she says that twin fire signs, 4 blue eyes, in State of Grace, that starts the album, and then the twin flame ends the album, like the burn. Like we really just went through that whole story,
Sure did.
like as an album. The 30 tracks gave us that entire story. Unbelievable.
And she also says a word that I think a lot of people had to look up in the next line. Just between us, did the love affair maim you too?
Oh yeah.
Did you guys have to look up maim?
100%. Yes.
I don't want to sound like a know-it-all, but no.
Really?
I knew what maimed
Yeah.
meant.
That's good.
Yeah. Just because a zoo animal.
Hold on.
Where is this going?
Where are we going?
You know
those zoo animals.
Zoo animal.
Because a zoo animal attacked some dude's face. Like, I can't. Who am I? Sigmund and Freud or
Siegfried
something?
and Roy?
Yeah.
Siegfried?
Sigmund and Roy.
Sigmund Freud is a.
You were smart for a second.
She's
in her smart era.
Okay, I feel so stupid now. The Sigmund and Freud zoo animal maimed someone's face. That's it.
That's how you know it.
Mauled, yeah. Maim.
Okay. I didn't know it until Taylor Swift taught it to me.
Hurt you? Did it really hurt you?
Mhm.
Scratch you up? Scar you?
And this was also one of the things that she teased us with on social media. Like she showed us that line that she was like writing it in that journal before we got the album. We were like, this is a new lyric. And then it was this one.
Because the city's barren cold. I still remember the first fall of snow and how it glistened as it fell. I remember it all too well.
Just beautiful.
But we know that she loves to use seasons, right? I mean, this whole time, like all too well, at the very beginning, she set it up as like autumn. Autumn leaves are falling, and but now we got to like the snow. Like it really was like this whole relationship over the span of the 3 months. We went from autumn to winter.
And so is she also calling the relationship winter? The relationship is now cold. The city is the relationship between them. The city is barren cold. I remember the first fall of snow. I remember the first time it started falling apart.
First crack in the glass.
The first crack in the glass and how it glistened as it fell. You can kind of see it. And I remember it. I remember there was that first time. Maybe it was throwing the keychain at her. Maybe that's what she's talking about there. I don't know.
What a beautiful way to end the story.
Well, and when you're coming to ending the story, just the outro, it's just so beautiful and pretty, and the strings in the song really start playing, and I really feel like I'm on a boat there.
Yeah.
It's like going down kind of a babbling brook. Babbling something?
A Brooklyn Brook.
Yeah. Babbling Brooklyn Brook.
Right, Lacey? Would you agree?
Yes. I'm going to confess something that maybe I shouldn't. I confessed it to Anna and Amy. Amy's telling me no, and I felt so stupid.
She's telling you no, and I called you out.
Tell me.
I admitted to them that once the first fall of snow, and as it glistened as it fell, I remember it all too well. I said, we all restart the song and listen to it over at that point, right? And
You didn't
both
say
like,
no.
no.
You didn't say you restart the song. You were like, that's when you
the
stop
end.
listening.
Oh, no, I would restart it. That's whenever I'd go back to the beginning and listen again.
I'm just so sad because she did this. She extended it for this 10 minutes and all of it. We need to appreciate all of it.
I do appreciate
I
all
would-
of it. I just
wouldn't have
normally
told that.
restarted at that point. And both Amy and Anna thought that I was just Satan for saying that.
Well,
Nick, how do
yeah.
you feel about me?
I mean, I think you're a bad Swiftie.
Wow.
Yeah, I think you're
Coming
a bad
from a
Swiftie.
bad Swiftie, I'm feeling
You know, you
judged.
call
Takes one to
it
know
takes one to
one.
know one. Call it like I see it.
So, Nick, confession.
Yeah.
All the way to the end or restart?
No, I listened to it all the way to the end. I don't
Me
really
too.
restart
No,
it.
you don't.
I just don't want to be alone
You
here.
might as well say this is your third favorite.
Wow.
I'm just kidding.
So I do have this comment from somebody who we thought Amy was the villain. Check out this. This was not the comment. Hold on, I'm saying that wrong. But check out this comment that I read on Reddit that this ballsy person actually wrote. They said, I'm just bemused by the amount of memes I've seen recently about people listening to All Too Well 10-minute version on repeat or watching the film over and over and stuff like that. I mean, I know memes by their nature exaggerate, but I'm still surprised at how much everyone seems to like this long version. Before Red TV dropped, I was always in the camp. She probably edited out the weaker lyrics and chose the best ones to make the original All Too Well. So All Too Well 10-minute version won't be all that. Having heard the album, I can say confidently that I was right. While there are some great parts in the 10-minute version, there are also parts I see that I know why they didn't make the cut, especially the ending. Honestly, I thought the song could be like a minute shorter, and that would make it a whole lot better. The ending feels very repetitive and flat to me, and I think she had to stretch it. Then comes all the responses, and everybody's like,
blasphemy.
You're wrong.
Yeah.
Yes, I cannot believe that you came on Reddit and made a thread to say this. And they said, people were saying, I disagree that she kept the best lyrics as well. I think she kept the sadder lyrics and took out the more angry ones. Like the original one sounds like someone looking back and being sad about a good relationship, while the 10-minute version sounds like someone who is angry about the relationship. Someone else said, honestly, I love the outro. The way the lyrics are repeated and faded towards the end denotes the fact that she's letting go. The intensity of her pain is being faded each time she repeats those lyrics. And now she has let go of that pain and moved on. So I thought that was a very good way to put it.
Totally.
But yeah, that person got massacred on
As they
Reddit
should.
for starting that.
What a jerk. I'm not going to take anything you say seriously if you start your conversation with bemused. Said I'm bemused by how people like this song.
That's a good
I'm
point.
not taking anything you say seriously after that.
Like first things first.
Ooh, I hate whomever.
Whomever?
Yes.
What
If
about-
somebody says whomever to me, I'm like, oh, look at the smart person. Like who, besides to whom it may concern, when do you ever use whom?
Mm-mm.
I don't know. I'm not smart enough.
I don't because I don't know when the right time
Yeah, I don't
is.
know.
Yeah.
I don't either.
Yeah. So get out of here, bemused whom.
No, I was just sitting here like looking at the lyrics, and I didn't like think about this before, so I might just kind of butcher my thought process on this. But in that last part of the ending where it's kind of fading out, just between us that the love affair made me too, just between us. Do you remember it all too well? Just between us, I remember it. Do you think she's saying like just between us because it's like, is she saying like just between you and me? Like you've already lied to me enough. You could at least be honest once.
Just between us.
Like
Tell me
you
the
were
truth.
already casually cruel in the name of being honest. Be honest one more time and just tell me, just between us. And then she kind of goes on when she says, when did my hair, I was there. Down the stairs, I was there. Sacred prayer, I was there. To kind of feed off what you were just saying about how she's kind of, you know, evolving, or not evolving, but like accepting it almost, because she says, I was there, I was there, I was there. But she doesn't say, I remember it all too well again. That's not a part that she repeats. It's just, I was there, I was there. Like, I was there, chapter closed.
Right. It's almost like she's saying, I was there, we're moving on.
Yeah.
And when you're looking at the lyrics, I mean, she's letting you know she remembers everything. I was there. I was there. She says, I was there 25 times here or more. She's letting you know you can gaslight me however you want. You can say whatever you want. Your version can be whatever, but I was there. I know what happened, and now I'm letting it go.
Yeah. She's amazing.
I love this song so much.
Me too.
I listened to it fully.
Wow. And just like that, the end of the Red
I feel
album.
so lost. What are we gonna do?
I don't know.
Well, in the past when we've ended albums, we've done rankings of our top.
Yeah, we can do that for sure.
Oh,
we can
you're
do that.
right.
Of our
We
top
have
five.
to.
Little So Long to Red.
Top 5?
Okay.
Well, okay, Anna, you're saying what we're going to do next, and you're completely right. We have always ranked our favorite songs. Do we include All Too Well 10-minute version in that ranking?
Tough. Because it would just be all of our number ones.
It'd be everyone's number one, so it's kind of
True.
taking up a spot.
Yeah. So,
So let's just say it's everybody's number one and move on. We need to do the top 2 through 6.
yeah.
2 through 6.
I like that, Amy.
That's funny.
I do too. Top 2 through 6.
That's
Okay.
really funny.
All right.
Well, that does it. That's
Wow.
it.
I'm
That's all
sad.
for this whole album. Red Taylor's version.
What
Done.
an incredible emotional journey.
What? A few.
30 songs.
It's crazy because back in November we were joking when we were like, "Wow, we're gonna talk about this until June."
But really.
And here we
Really,
are.
That's 7 months. That's 7 months.
Thank you, Taylor.
Thank
Honestly,
you,
thank you. Thank you for this.
Yes.
This has been quite the journey.
What a gift.
Mm-hmm.
It's been so nice listening to all the songs, breaking down all of the lyrics. I mean, it really has been an emotional roller coaster.
Mm-hmm.
To go from All Too Well to 22.
To go from the very first night to All Too Well.
Yeah.
And so on the very next podcast that we are going to post, we are going to be ranking our favorite tracks from Red Taylor's version. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of discussions, possibly disagreements, like normally happens when we are ranking songs, but we're going to have a lot of fun with it. And we're going to say so long to Red, Taylor's version, and then we got to figure out what we're doing next. But we'll figure that out. But so next time we're going to do some rankings. So join us then. This has been 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast. Please subscribe if you haven't yet. Leave us a good review. And if you do, you could possibly win a really great keychain from Lacey.
Fuck the patriarchy.
And leave us 5-star ratings and great comments and stuff. And follow us on all of our social media at the 13 Podcast. And all the ways to contact us are in the description of this episode. See you next time.
Wow.
Thanks for listening to 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast. Subscribe for free and leave a positive review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Podcasts.